Now, it is actually, we are entering our last session of our 3-day event of SolidWorks 3D Experience Week 2021. And I hope you guys are ready for to expand your horizons. In Industry 4.0, we have been talking about the focus on PLM and the 16 pillars, if you recall, that we have mentioned in the first day of our event. And digitalization and automation of such processes are very crucial, right? Well, to talk about this transformation, along with some other case studies, I would like to welcome one of our own. Please welcome Wiliam Dai, our sales manager, who is actually specializing in MES and ERP solutions. He will be talking about the digitalization and some case studies on how to start your manufacturing transformation. Please welcome Wiliam Dai from CADVision Singapore. Yeah, Wiliam. Hello.
Thank you, Jay.
Yep.
Hello,
hi.
everyone. Hi.
How are you?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for the introduction.
Great. Yep. Yeah. So I'll just pass it over to you.
Okay, give me a second. Let me just to show my screen.
Sure thing.
Can you all see my screen?
Right. Yeah, we can.
All right. Okay, so shall we start?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Very.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for very good afternoon, and thank you for attending our this 3D experience weekend, and we are the last session. So over here we will be talking about digitalization, and we'll be using some case studies to share about how to start your manufacturing transformation. So of course, if you in this session, we hope that this can be more interactive, and of course, most of the time I will be talking, and but let's say if you have any question, you may just put questions on at the chat box over here, right on your right hand side. So you can just type in what the questions you have, and then we will answer in the middle or at the end of this session. Yeah. And so for this session, we'll address this to 3 groups, right? So I believe every one of you are coming from different departments, and so the first group we'll be addressing to is the business owner and the senior management of engineering company and manufacturing company, right? So if your company is doing this too, of course, we are addressing to your concerns. And secondly, we are addressing to production and R&D manager and or engineers, right? So we'll talk about various of things of your concern as well. Or the third type is it could be from any functions of the company, any roles, but you are interested to find out more, right? We welcome you. So and over here, in between for this session, we will put some. We will have some polls, right? We have some polls. So basically, if possible, please have a paper and pen, and then at your side. So later on, you can write down the numbers, write down the poll numbers, right? And then at the end of the session, we will sum it up so that you can come up with some results, right? So do keep a piece of pen and paper. And okay, so so we will start from now. Okay, yep. So the agenda.
Yeah. Perhaps you would like to actually show the full screen of your slides instead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Am I not showing my full screen? Can you see agenda right now?
Yeah, perhaps. I see. Maybe what you can do is you can do the slider mode. Yeah, the slideshow mode.
Oh, I see. You are not seeing the full screen, right?
Yeah. Not
I don't
yet.
know.
All right. Yeah,
okay.
This is good. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Wiliam. Sorry for interrupting. Yeah, please carry on.
Thank you, JJ, for reminding me. Yeah. Okay, so the agenda for today will be focusing on 3 areas. First of all, we'll talk about the challenges for manufacturing transformation journey, and then where to start, right? So I believe many of the companies are all talking about manufacturing transformation, digital transformation, I 4.0. But the thing is that there are many challenges. Where to start, right? That's a biggest question. And then the case studies, we'll use some case studies to inspire you and to share what's possible, right? And then lastly, we'll do a little bit selling, why CADVision is your Industry 4.0 partner, right? So we'll cover that in the end. Okay, so we will start from a video. Let me just to play this video.
My name's Dan Riedinger. This is SMC Metal. SMC is a custom metal fabricator. Been in business for over 70 years with a number of large original equipment manufacturers. We've been using SolidWorks for many years. The speed with which it allows us to integrate with our customers' drawings to make prototypes and production parts is a differentiator for us in the marketplace. Recently, we did an upgrade to our ERP system and moved to IQMS. And one of the goals of the project was to integrate our ERP system with our engineering system, which would allow us to move to a paperless environment in the shop, which was one of our #1 priorities in the project. Those changes and that integration has allowed us to significantly increase our speed of manufacturing and reduce costs across the company. Prior to our implementation, we were several years behind where we needed to be from a technology standpoint. We felt it was critical to be able to integrate our software with our engineering packages. We needed to move towards paperless for a number of reasons, and IQMS provided a great vehicle to do that. And the recent acquisition of IQMS by SolidWorks parent company only will advance their product in the future of the industry.
All right. Okay. Okay. So this for this video, maybe some of you might be a bit surprised, or maybe you could have a view have seen this video before. So why some of you might be surprised, because SolidWorks why suddenly start to sell ERP solution or MES solution, right? So this was introduced in the last year, right? Last year during the Innovation Day, we shared about this Works, and some of you may heard IQMS. This was the formal name of Works. So this is our new manufacturing ERP solution. And one of the reasons, because SolidWorks has been focusing on the engineering department, right, since beginning. And then our customers are always like engineers and engineering managers. And then now the thing is that everyone is talking about Industry 4.0, right? Because this is a big thing for everyone. Because end of the day, we as a company, our biggest concern is to be able to make more money, right? And to be able to be be competitive, stay competitive. So therefore, we realize that it's important to be able to address a larger concern in focusing on one area. And then, Dassault System managed to find out this company, hey, 60% of their customers are actually SolidWorks users. So it makes financial sense, right, for them to, say, hey, buy over this company and then merge it together and then roll out worldwide to introduce to more customer base. So, and then now let's talk about Industry 4.0, right? Of course, this session, we are not going to say what Industry 4.0 is, which is already been covered in the first day. And but however, we can't get rid of this word, right? Industry 4.0, and it's becoming a buzzword. Everyone is talking about it, and but the thing is that there are many aspects for this buzzword, because any vendor come to us, they may say, oh, Industry 4.0, we want to increase your productivity, we want to do this, we want to do that, right? There are many areas we can address. So the thing is, where to start? What do we do, right? Which area do we start first? Like, do we set up an automation line, or we connect all the machines, all the equipments, and all the system together first, or we do cloud computing, or we do IoT, right? Or we do AR, we have collect big data, or we get some robots. So the thing is that there are many things need to think about. It's not like industry 4.0 industry. I mean the third industrial how to say revolution. Sorry, the third industrial revolution, not like the second one, not like the first one, right? So it's basically to increase productivity using steam or using electricity or using what, right? So it's not so straightforward. There are very wide and a lot of aspects need to look into. So therefore we got to look at more areas, right? Okay, so before we go in deeper, I would like to start a poll first, right? And then after that we will address more things, right? So if you have a piece of pen, a pen and a piece of paper, you may write it down, right? So over here, we will talk about what's the level of digital transformation in your company, right? Take it as a survey or for your own reference. So if you agree, you put number 5. You disagree, you put number 1, right? In the middle, you can put 2, 3, 4. So let me start the poll first. Okay, start the first one. So you can select now, and if you want, you can just write on your paper as well, so for your reference purpose later. We'll give another 10 seconds, then we'll end. Okay, I see some numbers. Thank you. Oh, good.
Yeah, perhaps we give them maybe a minute or so. Let them yeah.
Yeah, the
think
numbers
through
are
it and then answer. Yeah. All right, I see. Okay, about 30% of you guys have already answered the poll. Yeah, so let's just give them another 30 seconds or so. All right. So this is actually because this is actually all depending on your organization, yeah, and your business processes. So it's all unique to yourself.
So you can think about, day in and out, do you use, paper transactions, right? For your, like different kind of distribution report and this report and that report. Do you print it out? All right, I think majority of you have already put in your numbers.
Yep.
All right, okay, we will end in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, last one. All right, thank you so much. We end the poll. Okay, so and we can show some results. So yeah, 30% is the third one. We have number 5, 22%. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. All right. Okay, we will start the second one quickly. Okay, we are able to collect and analyze data in a pinch of time and make decisions accurately. So if you agree, you put number 5. If you disagree, you put number 1. So some of the company, they spend a lot of time collecting data, and so at the month end, they need to, pull a lot of reports and show to the management. But most of the time, they spend a lot of time to pull the report, right? So this is the kind of data we are talking about. Majority of you are in the middle. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks a lot. So we are ending soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's see the result. Wow. 55, 52%. 6% is automated. All right. That's that one. Okay, we're starting soon. Okay. Every department system is integrated. Data is shared. No double workload needed. From scale 1 to 5. 5 is a agree, 1 is a disagree. All right, so thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So we will end in 3, 2, 1. All right. So yeah, so we have almost like 50% is like 3 or 5 or 3 or 4, right? Pretty good. Thank you so much. Okay, so we'll move to the next one. Of course, we talk about the challenges, right? Although we know some of the company, about 10% of the Singapore companies, or even out of all the attendees, have a very good integration, right? But at the end, we'll know what is the final results, right? So there are a few areas, a few challenges. For example, existing business processes. So most of the company, how they come to now, right? If you are surviving, means that you are pretty good, because you have already survived through COVID-19, right, until now. So it's pretty good. Why we can survive, and some of you may be doing even better, right? Because of your existing business processes. But whereas sometimes it can be a double-edged sword, because the existing business process may also be an obstacle sometimes, right? For you to to scale, right? For you to adopt new things, right? So this could be a something that it become a challenge for many companies, because they say, oh, I want to have Industry 4.0, but because of this, because of that, right? And it could be coming from the existing business process. And organizational resistance to change. Of course, as a human being, we all have emotions, right? So whenever there are changes, because if make our work easier, of course we like it. But if it's going to make our work more difficult, or it's going to eliminate certain of our work, right? Of course, nobody likes that. So from an organization perspective, there will be changes. So we have to see how to address certain certain functions, and maybe become a redesign of jobs, right? So sometimes whenever there is a automation in the organization. And then there are silo legacy systems. Many companies, they have different kind of systems. Like some company, they have 4 or 5 systems, right? But all these are silo systems. They may have a accounting system, they may have an ERP, and then they have another HR system and a warehouse system, etc. Right? So but the thing is that all these systems are not integrated. So in the end, the information are not being able to share between different departments. So it become a challenge. And then lack of automation. Of course, when it can be system, system level software, software, it could be hardware level, right? Automation. And then finally, as a most important concern for many SMEs, budget is an issue, especially right now, right? COVID-19. So, do we have the budget to start with this kind of project? Correct. So, but the thing is that sometimes, we look at the challenges. We also look at another perspective, another angle, which is why do we need to do all these things, right? So as a company, we have to understand, more important is the money, whether we are making money or we are losing money, right? So I'm a salesperson. So for me, I'm day in, day out is talking about, our business with our customers. So what the customer need is, firstly, they want to make more money. Secondly, to reduce their costs. So these are the two areas we can address, right? They need to be addressed, right? So if he's able to make more money than the budget, then it makes sense. Or he's going to save a lot more money than that budget, then it makes more sense also, correct? So, and then we talk about, but okay, so let's look at another thing. When we are talking about, okay, all those concerns, all those challenges, and what do we need to address all those things, right? So let's use a human, right? Like, we are all human. So whenever we, let's say, for example, if we don't feel well, or we feel a little bit pain here, a little bit pain there, right? Then we want to, okay, go to see a doctor and do a checkup. So we need to find out what's going on with us, correct? So what are the things we need to do? We may need to go for a blood pressure. The doctor may tell you, oh, do a blood pressure, do blood sugar test, right? And test your liver function, do a ECG, even do a cancer marker, and etc. Right? So do a lot of checkups. And then, the doctor may ask you some questions. They look at your eyeball, they see whether you can move or not, right? Maybe use your small hammer to knock your knee or something. And then they may check your stomach, right? And ask for some symptoms and see what's going on with you. And then, but what's the purpose for this? The purpose is the doctor is actually collecting data about you, right? So when after all the checkup, then after the doctor have that data, then he's able to do some diagnostics. After that, he can give you prescription. He can tell you, okay, what's going on, right? Maybe you need to have some more vitamins or whatever. You need more rest. You need to be more relaxed and need to, take an MC today. Have a walk with your wife, something like that, right? So, these are the things. So data is actually quite important, right? Without data, you don't know what's going on with this person. So same as company, right? Data is extremely important. And data is driving Industry 4.0. So with data, what can we achieve? What can we have? We can see how efficient a company is, right? We can see the efficiency. Many of you may know OEE and all these words, right? So yeah, you can find out your OEE. You can find out how efficient you are, right? And not just about overall efficiency. You can also see the bottleneck of your company, right? Because each company have many processes. So each process, we need to know what's the capacity, right? What's the efficiency, so that you will know where is the bottleneck, where stuck, right? And then you can see where your cash flow is. Is your cash flow, is it because you don't have enough sales? Or is it because you don't have a lot of money? You have a lot of money stuck at the customer pending receiving, or you have too much, WIP, right? Or you have inventory is too high, correct? So then you can know, okay, where is the cash flow? How do we generate more cash flow? And then is it because, how much is the cost, material cost? How much is the labor cost, right? How much is the product cost? So we heard from many customers, many of our customers feedback that they don't know what's the actual cost of their product whenever they quote. They just give a buffer, they give a rough idea, right? But the thing is that if they don't know their actual cost, when they quote to the customer, either it's too high or it could be too low. Maybe they lose money, right? Because you have no control in that. You don't know what is the actual cost. And then manpower. So sometimes customer may feedback, oh, I don't have enough manpower. Is it really you don't have enough manpower, or because you don't have enough manpower at certain bottleneck, or is it, is it you didn't put them at the right place or whatever, right? So the thing is, it's a question mark. We don't know, right? Sometimes we don't know. So with the data, you will be able to find out, right? And then finally, you can make decisions on investments. Do you need to buy one more machine? Do you need to have a robot to automate certain process? Do you need to buy another system, software system or hardware system, right? And do you need to build another factory or hire more people? What are the investment you can make? So the more important is that you are able to make better decisions with data on hand. So where's the data coming from? And then is coming down to the to the process, right? What is actual process of a company? So let's just use a very typical business process of a company, and let's see where this data are coming from. Okay, a company always starting from leads, right? Sales, right? You don't have sales, then the company doesn't exist unless you're a research company. Then research also, you need leads, right? You need people to fund you. So, and then we generate quotation, you send quotation to a customer, you get a PO, right? Well, we're all happy, I get the money. And then after the PO, right, that's the beginning of the sales, the whole process of the company already. Then you start to generate a sales order. Have the sales order, then you tell the downstream to say, okay, you can start working already, right? So, and then we can, some of the engineering company will start to do the prototyping, do R&D, and then we come up with the design, right? You need to use some simulation software to simulate the design, right? To make sure it's workable. And then finally, you have a design approval, right? So this is approval process within the engineering department. And then finally, once this design is approved by engineer, by the manager, or by the customer, right? Sometimes it can be from customer. And then you come up with the 2D drawings and then the bill of material, right? BOM. With that bill of material, then you're you're triggering the next process for your purchaser, right? To come in and to plan when to buy what, right? How many screws you need to buy, how many parts, equipments you need to buy, right, for your products or for your systems. And then send out the purchase orders, right? PO to vendors, and then you receive the goods later on. So once you receive the goods, then you start to production, trigger the production already, right? So the production need to start to think about when to produce what and when, right? So we need to do, sometimes we need to do a detailed scheduling. So majority of the companies, maybe perhaps they're using Excel or using whiteboard, or even sometimes they're using paper, right? Or text each other, say, oh, person A, did do this job, person B do this job. So, and then after that, after it's scheduled, then we start to produce, do the parts, do assembly, final assembly, right? And generate the, create a product. And then after that, okay, do a QC, or QC can be in between, right? So depending on your process, and then package, and then do the DO, invoice, and send to the customer and collect money, correct? So the process can be, there'll also be things like outsource, right? And then you receive. So this is a very typical process. It can be very different from your, what your company is having, and it could be similar, right? But of course, most of the time, the process will not be so smooth, right? In between, there are rejects, people argue with each other, stuff like that, right? So customer reject, then how? Of course, we got to trigger it back, right? Then the QC may trigger back to the production. The production need to do some rework, right? But it doesn't mean that when you want to rework, you have the capacity to rework, right? Because the scheduler spent the whole night last night to do the scheduling for today, and now you want to say, oh, I want to rework, right? I don't have that capacity, because the moment you put in that, then what's the impact to the other orders, right? And so there are a lot of things you need to consider. And what if you don't have enough material, right? Then the purchasing is going to start to buy again. And then what about the design? So you need to trigger the change request as well. So the whole system actually is linked together, regardless whether you have a digitalized system or you don't have, right? You do have this process, correct? And then for many customers, they tell me, each line is a process for me. But how it works is like I'm shouting to one person, hey, Sam, start the job already. Okay, then he start the job. This is one line, or it can be a text, correct? So each company is different, but we all have this process. So all what I want to say is that, okay, this is pretty complicated. It's just complicated, right? And your actual scenario, your actual process can be even more complicated than this. We only address a little bit, a part of the whole process, right? So it's very, very complex. So in order to be to have a system that is properly documented, properly kept, right? We have different kind of systems. So there are CRM system, right? So to cover the sales part, there are SolidWorks and simulation. There are SolidWorks PDM manage. There are supply chain management system. There are MES system, right? There are QC system, finance, logistics. So I believe this could be pretty familiar to some of you, right? Maybe you have seen or heard different kind of system. So many of a company say, they say, oh, this area is not automated, it's very tedious, very troublesome. Oh, then they buy one system. It could be a cloud system, it could be a standalone system, right? Or they say, oh, they have a programmer, they get their programmer to build a system for themselves, right? So it happens, very often in Singapore. So, and then we talk about transformation. It's like when we are talking about a company who don't have a system, is just like this block, right? We're building a castle using blocks. We have everything together, but the thing is, the whole linkage between different process is pretty fragile, because it's paper. We're using paper or using email or using Excel, right, to talk to each other. But sometimes, and we are all human beings. We can't make sure 100% things are going correctly. So sometimes I don't receive that information, or I don't receive that information in time. Maybe certain process is forgotten, right? So we may not react in time. So in the end, we'll create a chaos or create a mess in the company. So you can see that this block castle can be easily collapsed. So sometimes some company, they feel that they quit scaling. The company stop scaling because they are not able to they're spending a lot of time and a lot of effort to keep the system in place so that they can carry on with the business. Otherwise, they cannot do the business already, because it's chaos everywhere. Everyone, maybe you have heard of firefighting, right? Everyone is firefighting. Why? Because the system is not kept by itself, right? We have to keep the system. This is a transformation, right? Whenever we have a system already, it's like a castle. We can do whatever we want in the castle, right? We can expand our business in the castle. We can focus on, other things. For example, productivity. For example, getting more customers, right? We don't have to, spend our effort on, making sure this building works. It already works, right? So that's why we talk about, using a system to transform. Okay, so we are coming to the second poll, and then, okay. Hopefully you are not sleeping. Okay, when mistakes happen, we are able to trace out the problems easily. If you agree, number 5. If you disagree, number 1. So what's yours? Are you able to trace out the problems easily? Okay, good. A lot of you can. Some cannot. Good. Okay. Some of you are still thinking. Just a reminder, if you have any question, you can put your question in the chat box. Okay. All right, so we will end in soon. 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you. So you can see the numbers. Okay, 40% is number 3, right? So you can, but need to take some time, right? Okay, so let's come to the next one. Okay, you're able to calculate the product cost based on every process to recognize the profit margin of each product. Wow. Or maybe some of you may not be coming from manufacturing line, right? So your company may not be doing manufacturing. So yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, generally we have about 10% have a very good system already. Okay, so we are ending this in 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much. Okay, last question for this session. You're able to forecast monthly or yearly jobs based on previous information and performance. So which means that you need to have those previous information, right? Previous track records, your customer information, and your, the selling price, right? And your previous, you're able to generate those information easily, and then you can do forecast. But sometimes it can be, intelligent forecast, right? Wow, a lot of you can actually forecast pretty well. That's good. Looks like our questions are more and more difficult, right? Okay, so we are ending soon. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. So let's see the result. Yeah, 40%. Looks like everyone can forecast, right? Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So we are coming to the case studies, right? We are here to study the case studies. So, okay, so we'll play a video. This company is called Alden James. It's a very good case study. Let me just play this video.
We manufacture plastic tubing and connectors for tubing. So we really enjoy selling to various industries, including medical, pharmaceutical, beverage, automotive, pneumatic, general industrial. So we really enjoy the diversity of being able to sell to many different markets. The benefits of IQMS with our customers are many. We were really bogged down by multiple systems. So we'd have CRM in this little software package, we'd have QuickBooks, and then we'd have multiple spreadsheets that were compensating for what we didn't have across the board. And thankfully, I found IQMS. Having that knowledge of the industry was a huge benefit for our company. When I saw what IQMS had to offer, I knew that was the answer that I'd been looking for.
Currently, we ship millions of parts a month, and we ship to 40 different countries. We have a distribution chain that we have to supply. In order for us to meet the demand that our customers are looking for, we have chosen to go to a 24/7 manufacturing operation. We run 2 shifts with human interaction, and then we run the last shift unmanned. IQMS has given us that ability to produce parts with no human interaction. When I came on board a number of years ago, we had this struggle where you had silos. You had the shipping silo, you had production silo, you had the sales silo, and none of them were really communicating. With the implementation of IQMS, we've actually been able to remove those silos. We were able to function as one unit. We want to make sure that the customer is getting the product in the time that they need it. In order to do that, we have to have production making those parts so that it is possible to ship on time. So we were shipping half of the parts late. And customers are depending on us to ship something on time. In some cases, if a late part ships from Eldon James, then we may shut down an entire production line because they're waiting on one specific key fitting. With the implementation of IQMS, we were able to take that deficit of 50% and actually push it to a 98% on time. That was crucial for us. Eldon James is into communication. We want to make sure that we're communicating with the customer. We want to make sure that we're internally communicating. Real-time allows us to do that because it gives us real-time data when we need it and how we need it. Our CEO is able to take a look at the information that we gather from real-time and make honest business decisions based off of that. Do we need more machines? Are we keeping up with production? There are a lot of things that can be done off a knee-jerk reaction, but if you have the data behind that, it makes the decision-making process much easier.
IQMS has helped improve our reject rates from 30% down to 2%, which has made a huge impact through our entire quality management system. You can see a lot from data. You can see where you can improve, you can see where our problems are. IQMS has been able to help us utilize that data to improve our quality to our customers. Whether it's the procedures, whether it's the inspections, whether it's cosmetic, we can improve where our focus is, and we can drive that with confidence, knowing that this data is coming from real time, from our inspectors, from our employees that trust the system 100%, knowing that we will do the best we can to improve whatever it is that we need to improve on.
After I'd received the demonstration from IQMS on all the things that it could do for our company, I said, well, we need to make that purchase. And that's probably the single best decision that I've ever made for the company. That was one of those milestones in the history of Eldon James that really allowed the company to grow, that being the decision to invest in IQMS.
All right, so we are back to the presentation. Okay, just don't confuse that IQMS is our new system called Digitalise right now. So it was a formal name previously. Okay, so Eldon James, right, is a manufacturer of plastic tubing, and you know, let's take out some of the important information, right? And we do some case study on that. Okay. Firstly, what's the impact of the business impact of the existing solutions, right? Existing business process and systems and everything. So as a package, right? Business quick scaling. That's very, very horrible, right? Because you know there are only 2 ways to go. Either you go up or go down, because your competitor is not going to you know stay stagnant as well. And increase in manufacturing cost, right? Because you're costing more money, right, on your manufacturing. and then increase the labor costs, meaning that you are making lesser money. So what is the system they're using previously? They're using QuickBook as their accounting, and then they use Excel spreadsheets, right, for the reporting. And then their sales is using a standalone CRM system, and then their manufacturing and inventory quality management, they're using Excel, right? So this is a current system. So what is the situation they're facing? Lack of visibility into production capacity to support new customers, right? Do you face the same issue? You are not able to, tell your customer whether you are able to deliver in time, or you are able to really, take the order, right? Of course, we can say now COVID-19 business no good, right? We have a lot of capacity, yeah. But the thing is that during the good time, where you are really expanding, right? Are you able to do that, or you're not? Or you need to take a very long time to come back to the customer, or give a very long buffer, right? 6 months or 1 year, then the customer may run away, correct? And then it's difficulty scaling to support growing international sales, right? When you have expand into internationally, right? Do you have that system to support that? They didn't. And then time-consuming financial reporting, right? Reporting is taking a lot of time. And then challenge responding to quotes, promotion, and customer upsell and cross-sell opportunities, right? So whenever it comes to sales, you are not able to sell, that's a big problem. But sometimes if the salesperson cannot sell, you can change your salesperson. But the thing is that the system does not allow you to sell. What can you do, right? Then you're going to change your system. And then manual and time-consuming audit process. We recently heard a few customers reporting that the auditors doesn't like to do auditing for them. Yeah, it's very common. You don't when they don't have a system, right? It's pretty difficult. And escalating scrap cost, and scrap rates on some jobs are reaching 30%. Right? It's surprising, right? Okay, so now what is the solutions and results? Okay, so after they have a system, right? Apparently, it's IQMS, is DelmaWorks, or it could be other system, right? If you really have a proper system. Okay, so they have a position for product quality, right? They can track their product quality, they can standardize it, and then they can improve their performance and able to continue to grow and scale. That's important, right? You need to be able to grow and scale. And there was a return on investment. Just now the lady says that that's the best investment ever, right? What's the return of that? So first of all, on-time delivery, as you can see in the video, right? 50% to 98% in less than a year of on-time delivery. So what's your on-time delivery right now, right? A lot of customers are telling me that, when my delivery is always not on time, I'm supposed to deliver today and I just realized that I'm going to be late, right? Is that something similar to you? And then the reject rates, right, from 30% to 2%, down to 2%. That's a lot of cost saving. And then quality control, right, on every aspect of the with visibility. Well, that's good. That's important. And then what about SO, right? Streamlined. And then they can achieve lights out manufacturing goal, right? Lights out. So of course, how did they achieve that, right? It may not be just from IQMS. Maybe they need to use other systems. I believe this is something that many companies they wish to have, but the thing is that where to start, right? They need to have a proper system first to integrate everything together, right? To have an integrated solution, and then this company they are able to grow internationally, right? Is this the ROI you want? You may do a screenshot if you want, right? And then you can go back to talk to your management to see if this is possible for your company. And then let's say look at another company. And then business impact, right? Time dragging on material planning, delay production, and lost sales. still the same, right? They're taking too much time on the production. Okay, so by the way, this company is a manufacturer of automotive trailer and the trailers parts, right? So you can see this is the product they make, right? This is the photo. So I mean, this is not a very complex product. It's not like a car, right? A complete car, right? But it still have a lot of parts there. So but the thing is that if you really go to their website, you can see that they have a lot of variables, a lot of different kind of configurations of trailers. So in order to make this, it's not like mass production. You make all at one standard. So whenever you have many different configurations, it's going to take time, right? Because you don't have all the parts, even the paint, you don't have all different kind of paints, right, all together. So some delay is there. The delay can be from many places. It can be from your shortage of material. Sometimes you're short of one screw, you may delay the whole project, correct? And then, and manpower, your machine, even your space can be a problem. It can be a constraint, right, to delay the production. And then the decrease possibly cost saving, right? Okay, I'm going to speed up a little bit. We're a bit behind. Okay, what's the existing system? So previously, the company does not have a proper system. And then let's look at this company. They have a proper system, and which is a, Epicor, right? Epicor is a ERP solution. So they already have this system. But the thing is that they still have, such issues, right? So what is the current situation? Right, they need to, of course, they need to find a better ERP solution to fit into their, specific requirements. And then the previous poor, system, they are not able to give them, to help them on the on-time delivery, right? Which is very, very important. So many of the ERP solution, they may say, oh, they have MRP, they can do, planning, but they can't do scheduling. When they can't do scheduling, you are not able to do on-time planning, proper material planning on time, because your planning must be based on your production, right? And then they have issues on customer service. They are not efficient enough. All these are the issues they're facing. Okay, jump straight away to the solutions. So now they're able to easily generate the vehicle identification number, right? This is a very unique number for them. So they get it automated. Last time it was manual, right? And then Delmaworks was able to help them to save 120,000 USD per year. This is USD, yeah. So just because of implementing the system, they're able to save that cost. And then they can build a bill of material, because our system is able to work together, integrate with SolidWorks. So all the SolidWorks design, right, you can port into this system, right? All the bill of material, your drawings, able to pass down to the downstream, right, for them to process. And then what's the ROI? Labor cost, they save 120,000 per year. It's not just one time, per year, right? Inventory taking, the time taking, save 85%, right? They generate the number, one click. Internal communication improve tremendously, and data entry eliminated, right? So do we have a lot of data entry? Do we have to do double entry every time, right? It can be improved, right? Customer service, right? Overall increased. Okay, yeah, you may do another screenshot. Okay, so let me quickly coming to the next one, next poll. Okay, last 4 questions. Real-time data from production warehouse is making it easy to deliver fast response and customer service. This is exactly what we addressed just now. So, do you have the real-time data? Still thinking? Or you don't have production? Yeah, oh, okay. Bear in mind, number 5 is agree. Is you have. Number 1 is you don't have. Okay, some of you have. Majority is still in the middle. Some of you don't have. Right. So the key thing is that you're able to, deliver fast, right? Fast response. No, so it's not just about one department. It's a multiple department working together already. Okay, so we're ending this soon. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Okay, so we have a lower voting rate. Hopefully you all are still here. All right, thank you so much. Okay, so weekly, monthly reports of each department are leading to improve employees' performance. Right, so meaning that you have the system, you have the data to say, okay, where are the area you can improve your efficiency, your work efficiency. Meaning something like a feedback systems, right? A KPI, or to see whether you're reaching your result, your goals. Okay, pretty good. Okay. All right. So we'll end soon. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Okay, here's the result. Yeah, pretty spread into different scales. Okay, so the last two very quickly. Okay, high inventory visibility and traceability. Person in charge is able to get inventory in seconds. In seconds. Are you able to get in seconds? Some of you can get in seconds. Perfect. If you can get in minutes, then you put number 4. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, regardless you have a integrated system or not, right? So sometimes you're able to see the inventory. If you have a inventory system, you'll be most likely able to see have the visibility. But traceability is a different story. Yeah, for example, some of the company you are in medical, or you're doing projects for government, military, right? You may need to trace the material, trace the batch, and etc. Okay, we are ending soon in 3, 2, 1. Last one, go. Okay, thank you. All right, yeah, a lot can trace. Also, 60% not able to trace. So last one, thank you so much. My company is able to optimize operations to secure additional business from a high potential customer. It depends on how flexible your operation can be, right? Whether you are able to, visualize, to have the visibility to, to create the capacity, right? Or to make some decisions on what to do. For example, certain process, oh, I don't have the capacity. Then you are able to make a decision quickly and say, oh, I want to outsource this process so that I can meet the deadline, I can meet the delivery promise date, something like that. Okay, a lot of you are number 3. Yes, you can, but need some time, right? It's not so easy, right? Probably can be manual. Okay, of course, getting business is so important. Okay, we're ending soon. 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you so much. Okay, so we haven't ended the whole session, just quickly wrap it up, right? So let me come back to this sharing.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotta take note of the time. Yep. Thanks,
Do
William.
you guys mind I take another 5 minutes just to wrap it up? Yeah.
Yep. Sure.
Thank you so much. Okay, so why CADVision is an Industry 4.0 partner? Okay, so as you can see just now, we are over here. We are, there are different kind of systems, right? So many companies are using independent systems, and then hopefully they can do integration, right? So, but that's a difficult integration is super difficult. And then the more you do, the more you develop in each sector, and then next time you want to integrate together, it can be more difficult, right? So let's do a little bit massage on the the whole thing. We do an arrangement, so you can see we have Digitalise ERP, right? It's covering your sales, supply chain, quality, finance, in the ERP solution, and then MES, right, under another section. And then we have a system, right, PDM, SolidWorks manage, right, to manage your design process. Okay, so in one word, CADVision as an engineering software company, we do have a whole suite of systems that can can handle, right, all your business needs, not just your engineering needs, your manufacturing needs, all your business needs, and then it's under one integrated system, right, which is called Digitalise. And then it's already integrated with SolidWorks, and then we have PDM and manage your engineering process, right? So this is the quickly, this is a interface, right? And if you're interested, we can do a demo. We can create another session just to cover more, right? So each department, you can have your own dashboard. You can have your own KPI put in place, right? Customized for that. And then we have another feature called capable to promise. So this is like a mini scheduling system, right? Let's say when the customer, just now we talk about whether you have a capacity, right, to deliver, meaning that you're able to see whether you have the capacity, whether your company is able to deliver on time, right? Without even consulting your engineering or even your manufacturing plant, right? But of course, it really depends on how your whole process is like and what your company really does, right? So we can discuss further on that. And then we have a finance scheduling. It's an integrated finance scheduling system. It's able to take consideration of your capacity, your machine capacity, machine downtime, schedule downtime, schedule maintenance, your raw material, your existing inventory material, and your upcoming material, and based on your sales order, your future orders, forecasting orders, right? And you're able to use that, to plan your schedule, so you don't have to do it manually already. It can be fully automated, right? So day in, day out, you just look at, open the system is already scheduled everything for you already. So you can tell your customer 1 month in advance, sorry, this order is going to be delayed. Then you can negotiate with your customer, because your customer also has a customer, right? So that they will really appreciate. But in the event, if they are not able to compromise the delivery date, the new delivery date, then you can work out different ways. For example, you talk to other customers, or you outsource certain process, right? Just to so you can focus on decision makings instead of just putting the system in place. And then we have a real-time MES, right? So this real-time, you are able to see from your tablet, your computer, even you are working from home, right? You are able to see what's going on in your shop floor, right? All this. And then we have a PDM. Okay, a lot of you have already know PDM, right? This is engineering product data management to manage your work process, your design process, right? And then I'm not going to the detail, just to say that you're able to create workflow. It's easy to use, and it's very similar to your current Windows Explorer, and you can create multi sites, right? And then we have a manage. SolidWorks Manage is even advanced, based on SolidWorks PDM, right? You want to be able to manage on the project level, right? So, one project, you may have different product configurations, and you want to be able to manage your, further, right? Not just about engineering BOM, but your also other BOMs, right? You can have a engineering, ECR, ECN, such process can be included into this system, right? Item management, yeah, and etc. So you can generate the dashboard reports, right? It's highly integrated with SolidWorks. Okay, so these are our customers, right? Already using Delmelworks worldwide. Okay, so lastly, very quickly, we are almost there. Okay, so this is the block castle we talked about just now, right? And then we transform into a castle, right? When we have a proper system. And then what's more, right? Some of you may not like this kind of castle, right? You may like something like this, right? I call it a cloud version. Just joking. So I mean, your company can be more, can be any possibility, right? Whatever you're dreaming of, whatever you're visioning, having the vision or with your company, it can be achievable already, right? Whenever you have a proper system in place. So if you want to discuss further, you can always contact me. Okay. Finally, you may want to take a screenshot of the results, right? So you can do a sum up together, and you can see what's the number, right? And we have a playbook. If you are interested, you can request a playbook or even the slides from me, PDF slides from me, and I can send it over. All right. Okay, Q&A over here. There is my number. There is my email address. You may want to do a screenshot, and you can email me directly. Any questions?
Yep. So, all right, we actually do have one question, but this question, I believe we can actually address it separately, because it is actually talking about is Malaysia actually ready for a Industry 4.0 implementation in the case where a lot of things are actually based on the World Wide Web or internet connectivity. Yeah, but I believe this question may not be very relevant to the current topic of the ERP one. Yeah, but I believe we can actually
I can do a quick answer on that.
Sorry?
1 minute. I can do a very quick answer on that. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So it really depends on what kind of system you are using. So of course, when we are talking about industry, whether the full Industry 4.0, how deep you want to go, right? So maybe instead of saying, okay, Industry 4.0, we talk about how firstly, what are the areas to address the immediate needs, right? So sometimes there are wider needs, there are long-term needs, there are immediate needs. So when we address the short-term needs, there are different ways. Sometimes we just buy a simple system, right? Just to patch the certain holes over here and there, right? But the thing is that we also need to think about, okay, is this system future-proof, right? Is it able to address the long-term needs? So we talk about the internet accessibility may not be as good as other region. Yes, agree. And let's say, for example, even we're talking about our current system, right? You may not need a very high IT infrastructure, right? So with your current system, you may already be able to work already. So yeah, you feel free to to let us know what's your key concerns, right? And then we can see how we can help.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Basically, that's one way to look at it. All right. Yep. So I hope that answers your question for Akil Adam Ng. Yep. So If you have any other questions, perhaps you can actually reach out to us via info@CAD-vision.com.my or .sg, depending on your location, or you can actually reach out to William directly. You can see his contact details on the screen right now. You can contact him at william.die@CAD-vision.com.sg or through that phone number shown. All right. Yep. So thank you so much, William, for joining us today.
Thank you, JJ. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Yeah. Yep. So here I'm just going to let you guys know, because for this particular session, we actually do have our prepared a guidebook. Yep. A guidebook on the Digitalization Assessment Guidebook, or how to start your manufacturing transformation. So those poll questions that you have actually done throughout the entire session will actually be summarized a little bit on this guidebook itself. So if you're interested to actually see how is your progress and everything, or what is to be prepared for a digitalization, you can actually use this guidebook as a reference point. All right, so it is at the handout section on your GoToWebinar panel. So once you head over to the handout section, you should be able to download that already. All right. Okay. Yep. So I hope you guys will download that. All right. Yep.